Alright, so just on my way out to get some provisions. I don't know if the sun's going to come out. Sun came out for a little bit yesterday. It was warm for that 5 minutes that the sun was out. But, yeah. Roads don't seem too bad, so. It's time to defog my windshield again. You got to choose between heat for you and heat in the windshield, right? If you put it on both, like both of the windshield doesn't get defogged and you stay cold. Yeah, so it's either you put it on one or the other to get the full effect. You know what I mean? So, yeah, today shouldn't be too bad. I'm glad I did all my taxes and Christmas shopping though last month, because I don't like driving in this stuff. Like, I'm not afraid to drive in the winter, but it is really vehicle dependent. You know, like this is fine, but you get stuck in a. I find this car and the loose stuff. It's a pretty. I don't know what it is about this car. I don't know if it's just because it's so light or whatever, but it does seem a little bit skittish on loose powder. I mean, all vehicles do. But like this one seems particularly kind of like my CRV was weird because it would hold a straight line, but it was when it was all-wheel drive. You could that weird thing with the all-wheel drive where you lose traction on one side and it kicks to the other side, and you can feel it like going around the vehicle. You know, like the posi traction kicking in, so to speak, and. Or basically, so one wheel doesn't spin out, right? So as soon as the wheel starts to spin, it kicks the power to the other wheel. And yeah, it's a weird feeling, but it's stable. Where this, it's like you're going, but you feel like you're floating, you know? And if it's really windy, it feels like, I believe this is one of those cars that it's like a small, like little, like a Chevy Sprint kind of thing. If you ever driven one of those things, man, you get any sort of wind whatsoever, it feels like the car's gonna blow around on itself. You know. But my CRV, that thing was so planted the way, I don't know, it was just the geometry of it, the way they did, it was so planted. And then the trucks, well, the trucks don't matter, you know. They just drive over everything, you know. I mean, my Ford was a little different. My red Ford, that one was a two-wheel drive, rear-wheel drive, so that one you had to be kind of careful. I didn't drive it most of the winter. I drove the CRV instead. Just because I knew that, like, not having the four-wheel drive was definitely going to, you know, you're going to get stuck with a two-wheel drive, period. Like, if you're just driving on the highway, no problem. You might get away with it just as long as you pick the weather conditions right. But you get into some of these yards where they don't have much of a, like one of my clients, like it's an instant hill as soon as you take off, and oh geez, look at the traffic coming in. The problem with that is the second you go to take off, like you just spin out, right? And if you have all-wheel drive, not too bad. If you have 4x4, you can, not too bad. You know, like a 4x4 is really good, you know, to a pretty good incline before you spin out. You know what I mean? Like, you could probably be on like a 15-degree incline before you, if you take off in low gear, or even in regular gear, you just don't spin. And if you have studded tires, like Thunder there had the studded tires, that was nice. That really, I mean, yeah, that thing I barely had to put it in 4x4. I think I put it in 4x4 like 4 times the entire winter. Just because the studded tires gripped so much, right? But I'm kind of smart. I know where I can go and where I can't go, regardless of the vehicle. A lot of people are not like that. Like, I mean, you can always get stuck, you know, wherever, but it's like usually you can look at it and say, no, you're going to get stuck in there. You know, it's like a tank. You can go where you can go, and where you can't go, you just cannot go. I guess I'll let this guy go. Don't know who's behind me this morning, but he's coming a little bit fast. See, I take my time because I leave on time. Plus, I'm my own boss, so I haven't fired myself yet. I'm saying I haven't thought about it, but you know. sure who's behind me there. I can't quite see him. Look, could be Christine, the girl I went to school with. We're like Facebook meme buddies. It's like she'll share a meme and then I'll share it, and then I'll share a meme, she'll share it. Steal each other's memes. Yeah. Big old truck. That's something you don't normally see spin out too much as big trucks like that. You'd think being all wheel drive like that they would be spinning out a lot more often. But I guess there's enough weight to them, and with the third axle there, well, technically second rear axle, that probably does give them enough to almost act like a 4x4. Oh, school bus drivers. Okay. Time to get some stuff done. We'll get my provisions, and I'll be back.